Good morning, everyone. I am your discussant, Krisha Sireboka, and for the continuation of the topic under genre theory and writing, we have genre as a product in writing and the process of teaching and learning through genre approach. So first, we have genre as a product in writing. It is a kind of text or writing work itself. It views that the language function of the text. Genre as a product in writing focuses on the product itself. It is the idea that learning to write involves the understanding of the grammar and lexis of the language, then reproducing those features accurately. So genre-based writing as a product shows its distinctive features as shown by its organization, rhetoric structure, and or linguistic features. So Highlander Gyasa et al. States the characteristics of genre-based writing. We have the certain communicative purpose or the function of the text where genres have grammatical forms that reflects their communicative purpose, and each genre needs a particular grammar and particular language and grammar resource to realize the communication. Then, certain rhetorical structure where the text organization describes the relationship that holds between parts of the text, or generic structure where the texts are divided into several types like the narrative, descriptive, recount, report, etc., and certain linguistic features like the grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and such. So Dirgyasa states that every genre has its own distinctive generic and schematic structure. One particular genre may be simple and the other one may be complex in term structure. For example, recount genre. So we have here the figure 1 physical structure or generic structure of recount genre. So recount genre where the students can retell a particular incident or event, like for example an accident or a newspaper report like that. So first we have here the orientation where it introduces the participants, the place, and the time, or answer the 5W questions: who, what, where, when, and why. Then the record of events or sequence of events where it is a stating of the sequence of events in chronological order. And then the reorientation where it rounds off the sequence of events, or it is the closing statement where the writer can states his or her comments about the text. So next we have the figure number 2, the physical structure or generic structure of procedure genre. So the procedure text or genre's physical structure is different from recount genre or other types of genre. So the procedure genre is about the sequence of actions or events to in making or doing something. So we have here the topic. For example, your topic is making a lantern. Then plus statement of purpose where your purpose is to give instructions to make or to provide steps in making lantern. Then sequence of steps or to accomplish job or activities stated in the topics where you states the steps in chronological order like first, second, third, and so on and so forth. Then closing if necessary. For example, was your aim achieved? Or you can give some tips in here like that. So each genre differs not only by its physical or generic structure, but also in terms of lexicographer. For example, in recount genre, it provides background information by answering the 5W questions using past tense and stating a sequence of time, etc. While in procedure genre writing, it uses imperative sentences, doing something verb like make, put, mix, and such, and uses present tense and also expressing sequence like using first, then, next, and finally. So now let's move forward to our second topic, which is the process of teaching and learning through genre approach. So Martin 1999 states that genre writing as a process of teaching and learning can be developed and conducted through a number of phases to follow in. So he proposes 3 phases of genre writing process consisting of first modeling, wherein a certain genre is given to the students by the teacher, and the student and the teacher will analyze the text to know its linguistic features, the structure of the text, and the communicative purpose. Then the deconstruction, where the students can then do the exercise by modifying or manipulating the text given in terms of relevant language usages, and language understanding, where the students try to produce a certain type of genre by using their previous knowledge and understanding. So Cope and Kalantzis, 1993, named those three main phases as a model of will literacy. So Firkins, Forey, and Singupta, 2007, used the term cyclic strategic to define the stages of teaching and learning writing through genre-based approach in detailed and comprehensive way. So they also proposed three stages which must be followed and implemented during the teaching and learning process. The three stages are: first, modeling a text, then joint construction of a text, and independent construction of a text. So first we have modeling a text. In modeling a text, there are four practical steps which must be implemented during the teaching and learning process. So first, the teacher chooses a certain type of genre writing in order to develop the classroom activities. For example, the teacher will give the procedure genre type of writing, and then the teacher and the students discuss the text genre by modeling and deconstruction or even manipulating the text. So in here, the student and the teacher will analyze the text to know its linguistic features, the structure of the text, or the communicative purpose of the text. So letter C, the students are directed and situated in order to know and understand the function of the text. So our example here is the procedure genre, where the students will know the function of the procedure and the purpose of writing the procedure, as well as how the language choices shape meaning and build meta-language. Then letter D, the students then study the vocabulary usages of a certain genre procedure, grammatical or structural patterns of procedure, where the students then enables to practice the procedure. So the next stage is the joint construction of a text or joint construction, where students start to do something more practical and operational dealing with writing. So in here, the students are still guided by the teacher before they write a certain genre independently. So there are three practical steps how joint construction stage is developed and implemented. Letter A, the students reconstruct the certain genre writing given, where the students can do editing like revising or paraphrasing vocabulary usages, grammatical patterns by using their own words. Then the teacher continuously guides the students to discuss and order the students to remember so that they really understand well about the genre type given, where using the meta-language and knowledge about the text structure and the language features of genre examined in the modeling stage, the teacher can continuously add examples of the text type and remain present to provide guidance. And then, before going forward to stage 3, the independent construction of a text, stage modeling, text, and joint construction are important to review. So before we move forward to the last stage, which is the independent construction of a text, we need to review the modeling stage and the joint construction of a text. So the last stage, independent construction of a text. The students write as a given genre type independently. In this case, the teacher must be sure that the students really understand the features of a certain genre, such as the communicative purpose, structure, element of the text, grammatical patterns usage, relevant vocabulary usage, and textual devices as well. So in here, the scaffolding or feedback are less frequent, more targeted to the content of the text, and less focus on the form and process. So we have here the figure number 3, the Highlands model of genre teaching and learning cycle. So as you can see, first we have the modeling, where it discusses and analyzes text structure, context, and language, and then the joint construction, where the teacher and students construct text together, and then in the developing control of the genre, we have here the redrafting and editing, and learner writes own text. And then finally, the independent construction of text, where it is the teacher-learner conferencing. So that is the Highlands model of genre teaching and learning cycle. So next we have the figure number 4, the Rotary's model of genre teaching and learning cycle. It begins with a building knowledge of field, where it is about establishing students' shared understanding of the field study, as well as exploring the socio-cultural functions where different kinds of texts play. And then next is the modeling of text, where the focus shifts from the field study to the genre being explored, and then followed by the joint construction of text, where the focus is on the composition of the text through direct and informed dialogue, where the students are guided by the teacher. And lastly, the independent construction of text, where independent composition takes place, and where the students are ready to work on in their text, to work on with their own text from the understanding about genre and knowledge developed through modeling and joint construction. So, Weber 2001 states that this model of teaching and learning writing helps to raise the students' awareness of particular areas of difficulties, while at the same time it promotes learner autonomy. So in conclusion, genre as an approach is a kind of one coin with two facets, which implies two sides, that is genre as an approach or method or strategy to teaching and learning writing, and as a product of the writing itself. As an approach, it refers to process of writing showing its systematical order or steps to follow either by the teacher or students, whereas genre as a product shows its distinctive features of writing either in terms of organization, physical design or layout, and also communicative purpose and linguistics features used. So genre-based as an approach to teaching and learning is relevant to the students with low competencies and low motivation, because students are guided by the teacher from the very simple or dependent to independent and learn through autonomous learning. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.